Dense silence. The distant sound of wind among ruins. Slow breathing. 1. The arrival. Historian Michael Braddock always thought ghosts were the product of superstition. He was a man of facts, of archives, of maps covered in dates and numbers. When he received an invitation to investigate reports of unusual phenomena on an old battlefield, he expected to find only exaggerations from local residents. Nothing prepared him for what he would find there. Braddock arrived at dawn, his card trunk full of equipment, recorders, cameras, heat sensors, everything someone who doesn't believe in ghosts takes to try to prove they don't exist. When he got out of the car, the first sound he heard wasn't the wind nor birds. It was a sigh. Low, prolonged, like someone breathing deeply behind him. He turned slowly, but he was alone. The fog moved as if it were alive, embracing the field. It wasn't ordinary fog. It was thicker, colder, and had a strange smell, like iron and wet earth. Braddock zipped up his jacket, trying to ignore the shiver down his spine. Stories from the locals, that's all, he murmured to himself. But the valley seemed to disagree. 2. The witness. The first person to meet him was a woman named Helena Crow, who lived in a cabin nearby. Her eyes were tired, yet attentive, like someone who had seen more than she cared to remember. "Dr. Braddock?" she called. "Yes, you must be Mrs. Crow. Thank you very much for receiving me." Helena observed him as one assesses whether the person before them will survive what is to come. "Before you begin your research," she said, her voice trembling, "I want you to understand. The dead here do not rest. It doesn't matter if you believe in them or not. They believe in you." Braddock tried to smile, but her expression did not change. "Tell me what you saw," he asked, opening a notebook. Helena took a deep breath. "It's not what I saw, Doctor. It's what I see every night." She pointed to the field. Men marching. Silhouettes. Carrying rifles that have already turned to dust. They walk in a line, but never arrive anywhere, as if trapped in a moment that never ends. Braddock noted skeptically, "Have you ever spoken to them?" Helena laughed, not humorously, but nervously. "Talk? No. They don't speak. They only repeat what they did the day they died. And when they realize someone alive is watching, they stop." She leaned in, looking him in the eyes. "And you? Why do you continue living here?" She answered without hesitation. "Because someone needs to remember them. The dead don't fear being forgotten. They suffer from it." 3. The drums. As evening fell, Braddock walked across the field with his equipment. The fog gave way to the wind, and the sky turned orange, tinged with fire. The same fire that, a century and a half earlier, had illuminated that valley during the battle. He turned on the recorders. The sensors registered normal temperatures. Everything seemed too calm, but as the sun disappeared behind the hills, the wind shifted, and with it, a faint sound emerged. Thump, 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 thump. Braddock stopped. It sounded like a drum, a slow rhythm, like a military cadence. He adjusted the microphone, moving closer to the source of the sound. The field was empty, but the drum continued. Thump, 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 thump. With each step he took, the sound grew louder, more defined, until it became unmistakable. Someone was marching. The earth vibrated beneath his feet. Braddock felt his heart race. Part of him wanted to retreat, but another part, the curious, stubborn part, pressed forward. And then the drums stopped. Absolute silence. He looked around, tense. That's when he heard something else. Footsteps, disjointed, multiple, but invisible, as if dozens of soldiers were marching around him. Braddock turned on his flashlight. The light cut through the darkness, and he saw 4. The first appearance. They weren't men. They weren't shadows. They were something in between. Translucent figures walked through the valley. Blue and gray uniforms mixed. Union and Confederate soldiers, side by side, oblivious to each other's presence and their own death. Some were mutilated. Others carried broken rifles. Some limped. Others had burn marks that never healed. They didn't look at Braddock until one of them stopped. A young soldier, his face smeared with gunpowder, his shirt torn at the chest. He turned his head slowly, empty eyes, lifeless, but conscious. The soldier took a step toward Braddock, another step, and another. The historian recoiled. I don't want to hurt them, he stammered. The soldier raised his hand, not as a threat, but as a plea, as one who asks for help, and then disappeared into the fog as if he had never existed. 5. The camp of the missing. Braddock ran to Helena, terrified. I saw them, he said, breathless. They were there, marching. One of them tried to communicate with me. Helena nodded. They're not trying to hurt you, Doctor. They're trying to be remembered. Most of these poor boys never had a funeral, never had their names recorded, never came home. She looked at the valley sadly. They wander because they died too young and so violently that they didn't understand they were dead. Braddock felt the weight of those words. How many are there? He asked. Helena closed her eyes. Many, more than the books say. Here, where you are, more than 300 were buried in shallow graves. Most were never identified. Graves where? She pointed to the ground beneath his feet. Braddock instinctively took a step back.